much love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
Dan, RadioStyle. I hope everybody out there's having themselves a good time. I certainly am, and I'm loving it. I've got some great stuff to share with you. This, of course, is Stuck on a Thought is the name of this one, and came out pretty good as far as how this came to play. So I'm going to share all that, give a couple examples, and hopefully we'll get ourselves on our merry way, right? Okay, first up, Hooked on a Feeling. That's Blue Suede. Good stuff, like it. Also on, I can't remember the movie, so it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to go out with Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheel. Steelers Wheel. There you go. Make sure I get the name right. That's kind of important. So anywho, how did this whole thing come apart? Stuck on a thought, right? Or stuck on a feeling even, because either or really kind of applies. But stuck on a thought, I think, is really kind of the closer to the truth, because really when you get yourself in a place where you've got this thought stuck in your head and that's just how it is, and it's not working for you, it's not making changes, it's not making things better for you, well, you're kind of stuck on a thought, and really that's all you need to do is change the thought. Or as Esther Hicks or Abraham Hicks would say, just start heading towards downstream. You don't even have to necessarily go downstream yet, just stop going upstream. So how this kind of all came to play is a very, very good friend of mine, and I've plugged her a number of times, and so I'm not going to overplug her, but her name starts with Violet. That is, she's been very, very helpful, and she kind of had a little chit-chat with me last Saturday, asked me some very poignant questions. Poignant? I don't like that word. It's hard to say. She asked me some very specific questions. We'll try that. And really got me to realize that I was stuck on a thought. I really thought I had that portion of stuff figured out in my life, and I come to find out I really didn't after spending some time with her and realizing, and it was tough, man. I was like licking my wounds later, but it was just accepting that I was not correct, and sometimes it's not the easiest thing to come to, but thank God for good friends and whatnot to actually help kind of point me in the right direction. So because of all that, I was able to really turn my thoughts around, and some wonderful things have kind of already started to show themselves. Not huge yet, but certainly wonderful, and I actually am feeling better when it comes to this area of my life, right? So it really did make an almost immediate difference once I kind of got past the initial shock of, man, dude, really, you were wrong, and so it's good. And, even for those of us that try to help others see the way, we have our own little drama and lessons and contrasts that we're working through. So it's cool how it plays out. So thank you, V, for helping me out with that. I've got a couple examples. One, I've got a friend that I know that I've worked with in the past that has been working at the same company for so long. She's not happy, doesn't enjoy it, but she still stays there because it's kind of like all she knows. She doesn't know anything else. It's hard for her to get out of that thought of this is just what I do. And she's got, excuses. I love the people I work with. I've just been here. This is what I know how to do. I feel bad if something happens to all you guys. Now, first off, everyone's always going to be safe and we're always okay. That's just how life works. But using all those as reasons to stay where you're at when you're not happy is not good. It's not beneficial. So sometimes it helps to either A, get a kick in the rump. Sometimes you just start having to change your thoughts like, well, universe, I'm open to whatever you've got to show me because there's obviously something else out there. I'd like to find happiness. Help me find that happiness. And it starts the cycle. It starts things happening. Who knows? Someone might bump into you like I was lucky enough to have happen. Might have a discussion with you about how you can do different things with work. And here's a couple ideas, things you'd like. I know you'd love doing this. You'd love doing that. It's like, oh, man, I never even thought about it like that, right? Never thought about it like that. One of the keys. So another good example that I know of that some people they're trying to increase their wealth in their life, right? So maybe they make, $30 an hour, $20 an hour, whatever the heck they make, right? And they make X number of dollars, and you're like, all right, so we're going to enhance your money. We're going to get your money thinking in a different direction so you can, start to increase that. And instantly, a lot of these guys are stuck in the thought where they're like, well, I only make this much money an hour. I'm not allowed to work any additional overtime that I'm already working. I just don't see how I could possibly make more money. Again, they're stuck in a thought. The idea of maybe finding a different job where you could get paid more an hour, or possibly finding outside things that bring in revenue based off of what you're providing. Maybe you've got a skill. Maybe you've got a hobby that you're really good at that you could actually turn into a money-making principle. Maybe there's online blogging that you somehow could find a way to make money. Like, there's always other things. So open yourself up. Get off the thought of, I make X number of dollars an hour. I don't see how that's possible. Get off the crazy thoughts and move yourself into a more open direction. One great example, and this isn't the thing that my friend helped me with, but this is something that's perfect example, and I just remedied this today. This is so awesome. All right, so the other day, it actually goes back a couple weeks, right? So I'd walk out into my garage, and I'd see this little thing run out and then run back in. And at first, I'm like, at first I thought it was a lizard. Then I'm like, maybe it's a mouse. And then I had this big, long dialogue about how I could deal with that. And all right, whatever. So I finally come inside, 2 days ago, and I walk into my room, and whoa, there's a lizard in my room, on the ground, in the carpet. And it's like it's a little guy, right? He's tiny, not even that big. But at first it was like, okay, how can I capture him? Of course, being paranoid and, here's my man card. And I'll hand it to you right off the bat. But I didn't want to get bit, right? I don't know. It's a lizard. Whatever. And I didn't want to grab him by the tail because I didn't want to, hurt his chances of survival in the wild. They can only lose their tail once. That's it. Once they do that, it's stuck like glue and it grows back. So I was like, all right, how am I going to get this out? I want to get this guy out. I want to help him survive because he's going to die in my house, which is kind of negative. Another, might start smelling or whatever. But so I'm like, okay, cool. So I get home today, right? And this is me thinking about trying to get this lizard out of my house. Not focusing on the fact that there's a lizard in my house, right? Because that doesn't help. But focusing on how can I get him out? Lizard, help me help you get you out of my house. I'd like to help you get out of my house. These are the thoughts that I kept kind of spinning through my head. So I get home today from work. I got an eye appointment, so if my eyes look freaky, it's because they are dilated. Anyway. So I walk in, and boom, he's on the stairs. He's like about 4 stairs up, and he's like looking at me like, hey, what's up? And so I go, oh, sweet. So I went out in the garage, and I got this cardboard box, and I blocked him, got him down to the lower level, opened up the front door, and got him out the front door. He survives. This lizard's going to live to fight another day because I wanted to help him. So that's kind of the thing. That's a good thing, right? Again, another example of how you can change your thoughts. Thoughts sometimes would have said, oh, no, lizard in my house. Don't want that. Don't want lizard in my house. By constantly focusing that same energy on the lizard in your house, you keep the lizard in your house. But by focusing your energy on what you would like to experience, you can make a difference. You can make a change. So it was the same with what my friend was helping me out with my little problem. It helped me focus in the direction of what I would like to experience, not where I'm currently at. And there's a huge difference. So focusing on where you're currently at is not going to get you to where you'd like to go. Getting you to where you'd like to go is thinking about where you would like to go. You want something different to happen in your life, focus on what that difference is, and you will be amazed at the difference. So Dan, RadioStyle, hopefully this makes a difference. It certainly did with me, and thank you, V. You're awesome. I appreciate it. And, of course, going out with Steelers Wheels. Yeah, I said that right. Good. Stuck in the middle with you.